A guy buys a phone he technically can't afford, but the monthly payment feels small, so he says yes. A few months later, he finances a better laptop, then a car, then furniture for his apartment. Then he starts using credit cards to cover things temporarily. And at first, none of it feels dangerous. His life actually starts looking better. Better room, better devices, better lifestyle. From the outside, it looks like he's finally becoming successful. But behind the scenes, every paycheck is already spoken for before it even arrives. And that's the scary thing about debt. Most people don't fall into it because they're reckless. They fall into it slowly, through normal decisions that quietly turn into financial chains. Why debt feels normal now. Modern debt doesn't usually feel dramatic anymore. That's what makes it dangerous. Years ago, borrowing money felt serious. Today, it feels casual. One-click financing, buy now, pay later. Monthly installments everywhere. Everything is designed to make expensive things feel affordable. And psychologically, monthly payments trick people. Because instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" people start asking, "Can I afford the monthly payment?" That changes everything. A $2,000 purchase feels painful, but just $60 a month feels manageable. And companies understand this perfectly. That's why modern marketing rarely focuses on full prices anymore. They focus on small monthly numbers, because smaller numbers lower emotional resistance. And slowly people build a lifestyle made entirely of future payments. Car payment, phone payment, credit card payment, furniture payment, subscriptions, loans, and individually, none of them feel life-destroying. That's the real debt trap. Debt steals flexibility. Because once too much of your paycheck becomes committed to payments, your life starts losing freedom. You can't leave stressful jobs easily. Unexpected expenses become emergencies. Financial pressure becomes constant background anxiety, and eventually people reach a terrifying point where they earn decent money, but still feel broke every single month. Not because they make too little, because too much of their future income already belongs to somebody else. The psychology that keeps people stuck. Here's where things get deeper. Debt is often emotional long before it becomes financial. A lot of spending comes from the desire to feel better immediately. Stressed, buy something, feeling behind in life, upgrade something, feeling insecure, spend money to feel successful. And modern life constantly pushes this behavior. Social media especially, because every day people watch others displaying luxury, success, expensive lifestyles, vacations, new apartments, new cars, and after enough exposure, your brain slowly starts treating those things as normal expectations. That creates pressure to upgrade your own life too, even if financially it makes no sense. And debt becomes the shortcut people use to close the gap between their current reality and the lifestyle they want right now. That's why debt feels emotionally seductive. It gives instant gratification without immediate sacrifice. You get the reward today, the pain comes later. And humans are naturally bad at emotionally connecting with future consequences. That's why debt feels psychologically invisible in the beginning. Your brain focuses on the excitement of receiving something new, not the months or years of payments attached to it. A new car feels exciting immediately. The future stress of paying for it every month feels distant, abstract, almost unreal, until eventually the excitement fades, but the payment stays. That's one of the cruelest parts of debt. The emotional reward disappears much faster than the financial obligation, but later eventually arrives. And once payments start stacking up, people often enter survival mode financially. Now, every paycheck goes toward maintaining the lifestyle they already created. Not building wealth, not creating freedom, just maintaining. That's why debt keeps people psychologically stuck too. Because financial stress changes behavior, people become anxious, impulsive, emotionally exhausted, and stressed people usually make worse financial decisions, which creates even more debt. How people escape the trap. The people who eventually escape debt usually experience one major mindset shift. They stop using future money to buy present comfort. That's the real change. Because financially successful people understand something most people ignore. Every dollar borrowed from the future reduces future freedom, and freedom is expensive to rebuild once it's gone. That's why wealthy people often become extremely careful about recurring payments. Not because they hate spending money, because they hate financial pressure. They understand that permanent monthly obligations quietly create stress for years. And once people realize this, they start thinking differently. Instead of asking, how much does this cost per month? They start asking, how much pressure does this add to my life? That question changes behavior fast, because now debt stops looking exciting. It starts looking heavy, and financially smart people begin prioritizing ownership over appearances. Emergency funds, cash reserves, investments, lower expenses, financial breathing room, because real wealth isn't about looking rich. It's about reducing dependency. And the less money you owe every month, the more control you regain over your own life. That's the hidden part most people miss. Debt doesn't just cost money, it costs flexibility too, because people with heavy financial obligations often lose the ability to make bold decisions. They stay in jobs they hate longer, delay risks they actually want to take, stay financially anxious even while earning decent money, because too many fixed payments create fear, and fear changes behavior. So let's bring this home. The dangerous thing about debt is that it rarely destroys people instantly. It traps them slowly. One payment at a time, one upgrade at a time, one emotional decision at a time, until eventually their future income becomes fully consumed before it even arrives. And that's why so many people stay financially stuck for years, even while earning decent money. Because debt keeps stealing the one thing wealth actually needs to grow: space, financial breathing room, freedom. If this video made you think differently about money, subscribe and comment below. What do you think is the biggest debt trap people fall into today? I genuinely want to read your answers. See you in the next one.